What's going on with Wendy?
Hello, it's me, Elay, pronounced like LA like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. I'm coming back to you with another video, and it's what's going on with Wendy. I have Wendy's problem list. Topic 1A. I wanted to dive deeper into this particular topic because I found other things within the article that I presented to you previously this week on here. So I had to get into it because it's some things that just sparked out and jumped out to me that I'm like, oh, you know what? I think I've solved this mystery. I started writing my notes yesterday, 3/16/2022, and now I'm here making the video today. Okay, so what's going on with Wendy Williams? Is she fired? Is Wendy Williams really fired? According to thesun.com, in an article called Wendy's Woes, Wendy Williams has not been fired from her show, but sources insist ailing host will never return to hosting job. This article is written by Jessica Finn on 14:57 Eastern Standard Time on January 26, 2022. Once again, it was written on January 26, 2022. Wendy Williams was not fired, has not been fired from her show, but sources insist ailing hosts will still never return to hosting. Now, I've posted from this article before. Yes, I have reported from this article prior Wendy Williams video. The reasonings of me referencing this again is because of a couple pointers this article mentioned regarding whether or not Wendy is fired. And I put fired in air quotes. This brings me to the question in this new series Wendy Williams called Wendy Williams Problem List. I decided to do Wendy Williams Problem List 1A as an extension of what my theory is. This brings me to the question in this new series. I've already read that part. I want to know, is there a difference between getting fired or replaced? Is there a difference between getting fired? And is there a difference between getting replaced? Like, if someone got replaced, does that really mean that someone got fired? The reasonings for this theory are such. As we go back to this paragraph again, right in the smack in the heart of the title, I'm going to circle a couple of things so you can see where my logic is behind here. The reasoning for this theory are such. Wendy's woes. Wendy Williams has not been fired. Has not been fired from her show, but sources insist ailing host will still never return to her hosting job. Will still never return to hosting job. Wendy Williams has not been fired from her show, but sources insist ailing host will still never return to her hosting jobs. The reasonings, see, what I gather from this paragraph is that she has not been fired, obviously, and will not return to her hosting job. So, like, yes, she didn't get fired from the entity, the realm, or the world of the wonderful Wendy Williams show itself. However, she is not returning as a host. Once again, Wendy has not been fired, but will not return to her hosting job. Will not return to her hosting job. So, like, yes, she didn't get fired from the entity, the realm, or the world of the wonderful Wendy Williams show. However, she is not returning as a host. Yeah, sure, she may not be returning again as a TV host, but there are other plenty of jobs that Wendy could still acquire on or maybe around the Wendy Williams show or brand. See, there's still hope for Wendy. Wendy can come back. She may not return as a host, but perhaps host number 2. Like how AJ and Free both hosted maybe, on 106 in Park. There were 2 hosts. Maybe the Wendy Williams show will still be called The Wendy Williams Show, with Wendy as the lead host or host number 1, and Sherri Shepherd being the host number 2. Yeah, like how the Regis and Kathy Lee show was. And then after Kathy Lee left, it was Regis and Kelly's show. Then after Regis left, it was Kelly, Ripa, and the football guy, and so on and so on. So having a power team would work, because like if Wendy is not feeling well one day, she still can show her face and have her presence there on her show, but her partner in crime can be on the set helping her pull some of the weight to carry one another through to the end, So because honestly, I don't think Sherri Shepherd will be capable of holding the show as great as Wendy. Check this though. Thinking of Wendy coming back, let's just say like from a 1 year long healthy recovery. Wendy returns healthy and strong. Wendy, but I don't think she should return to the show at 100%. Meaning, let's just say Wendy Williams is involved in taking a year hiatus to get her heart, mind, spirit, and body all together, and her family affairs and everything together, and she's back on top. She's 100%. She might be feeling like 110%. But the thing is, I would not want her to put all that energy into the show. I would not want her to do that. I will say give it a 70%. 65%, because even that's good, and have her host there to help balance the scale, like have it be that. I don't think, even though when she gets better, she should go all in and hold the show down on her own, which is why I think upon Wendy Williams' full recovery meaning mental, spiritual, physical Wendy. And physical, Wendy should have a partner, like a co-host. Co-host should be Sherri Shepherd, but we need Wendy. We need Wendy back. However, we need a healthy Wendy back. Once again, I got this from thesun.com, and this article was produced on January 26, 2022. Written by Jessica Finn. Shouts out to Jessica Finn. Further in the article, I'll go down right here and see where it's at. And I'll circle the next thing I'm going to read. One source told The Sun that Wendy has not been fired, but she is still not expected to return to the show. End quote. My question is, who indeed is the one source that told The Sun this information? Who is the name of the unnamed source that shared this information? Who is the one source? Who is the one source? I just wanted to mention it, being that it doesn't have an official power, any official power to the name. I just wanted to mention it. I'm still wondering who the one source was that told The Sun this information. Another thing I picked out of this article that jumped out to me is this. Hang on, let me circle again. Production is running out the clock with all these guest hosts. They're literally just waiting for the season to end, and after that, it's gone. The insider added that the Wendy Williams show has been syndicated for a full season to stations around the country, and production has to deliver the show through the end of the period. My question is, how long is the season? Like, how much longer does the Wendy Williams show actually have for this remaining season for 2022? Spring, summer, or however they divide their seasons up on the TV world. Next question is, although Sherri Shepherd is in the Wendy Williams place, is it a permanent or temporary or a long-term temporary like contract just to fill in and finish the season? What type of position does Sherri Shepherd hold? Yes, she's being replaced. Wendy is being replaced, but replace could just mean fill in, or you know how some people say a temporary leave of absence, but not a permanent leave of absence. A leave of absence where it's open-ended, so there's someone there to just fill the spot because he or she may be gone from their position of authority for some time well needed. However, it's going to exceed the maximum amount that is written in the clause. Let's just say working, I've been working for a long time, so when we grew up, when we were working a lot, when I grew up, I learned that when you're working, you can get a maximum of 2 weeks off. And after that, the computer would basically kick you out the system because it would think you're fired or have been terminated. So you definitely can take 2 weeks off at a time from your work. So that's 14 consecutive days before the computer reads you as invalid. So let's just say this same rule applies for Wendy. She's taking some time off. However, maybe they give her a month off. Let's just say 3 weeks or something off. 3 to 4 weeks off, in her contract to take time off. But if you go a day or a minute over, you are going to get kicked out naturally because the system reads you as a non-working person. So perhaps they had to put in the clause that it's an extended, leave of absence. So in this notion, we do have to have someone to place, hold, and fill your spot. So, although Sherri Shepherd is in Wendy Williams' place, is it permanent or temporary, or a long-term temporary-like contract just to fill the season? Is the Wendy Williams show in breach of contract by any way for replacing her, Wendy Williams, Sherri? When I think about it, at this moment, the show is still called the Wendy Williams Show. I have yet to see if the Wendy Williams Show's name has gotten changed or not. I just looked it up. No, the Wendy Williams Show has not been changed like the name of her show. Despite and through it all of the people, host changes, and the seem-to-be replacement of Wendy Williams, the name of the show has not been changed, thankfully, and prayer hands. I am wondering if they changed the name of the Wendy Williams Show to something else during the stint of the remaining contractual time, if this would breach the contract, and if it were to breach the contract, what will be the penalties? Are the penalties of breaching this contract in any way heavier than just sticking it out? Is it cheaper to keep her, for lack of a better word, and just let the clock run out? Or what will be the protocols? What will be the penalties if they did decide to breach this contract? How strong is the contract? How strong is the contract? How well written is it so there can't be any wiggle room? Lastly, in this article, it reads something else that I thought was very interesting. Let me find it down here. If she's officially fired or quits, all those stations could potentially pull out the contract, the insider explains. The insider added that Wendy Williams' show has been syndicated for a full season to stations around the country, and production has to deliver the show through the end of that period. If she's officially fired or quits, those stations could potentially pull out of the contract, the insider explains. Wow. So can I say that perhaps the one source that has been providing the Sun all of this information is solid but choosing to remain anonymous? As this one source, and I'm using air quotes around the one, is continuously referenced again throughout this article. When the one source was mentioned again, the one source is referred to as the insider. So the Sun.com has an insider source. The Sun has an insider source, obviously creditable, so creditable that they chose to remain anonymous, thusly me taking into assumption then that perhaps the one insider source may have close connection with the Wendy Williams show and chooses to remain assumingly anonymous due to their possible breach of contract. My final question. Does this technically mean that Wendy Williams does have the time to reclaim her spot back, to reclaim the throne? And does this window of opportunity for Wendy to come back last as long as the remainder of the full season? How long, Wendy? How much time does she have left to reclaim the throne? Not only in the TV and entertainment world, but her family, her life, her everything. I am rooting for you, Wendy Williams. I'm Team Wendy all day. Get well, move quick, effectively, and precisely, and reclaim what's yours. It's me, Elay. It's me, Elay, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. I had a great time with this Wendy Williams vid. See you again on the next one. Bye.